Let's get deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
What's up, Stoked Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep podcast with my compadre.
What's up, dudes? It's JT. Chad, let me say, you sound extra crisp this morning on the pod.
Oh, for real? Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, and let me say it's also 2:22, so it's not really morning for a lot of folks.
Yeah, morning for us, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get into the swing of things.
Yeah, I can see your energy starting to build. So, yeah, welcome, guys. First, I just want to start off the pod by just thanking everyone for their outpouring of support and love. It's been amazing, and we've been really stoked on it.
Yeah, I've been unbelievably amped, and it seems like with a podcast versus other media platforms, it goes very deep, as Chad is wont to do.
Yeah, it's
and
like my life goal.
And to know that we're relating to people on a pretty intimate level is something that makes me feel pretty great. Yeah,
just to know that we're helping people to get amped up throughout the day and just to like take each day on just firing like Tony Robbins would, that brings a fucking tear to my eye, dude.
Reciprocal amping, my friends.
Yeah, for sure.
You're giving it back to us.
That's what it's all about. Pay it forward. Is that the correct thing?
Absolutely. It's a pretty heavy-handed film, but I think the message in it is powerful and potent, and that's that you do good shit for other people do good shit for other people,
yeah.
And at some point, hundreds of years down the road, it comes back on your family in good ways.
Oh, boom, baby. Yeah, but the thing about that film, though, like Haley Joel Osment, that's all I can remember is him just getting shanked and like.
Yeah, but dude, some two like teenagers are fighting and he just bolts in on his bike to kind of break it up.
Yeah.
And then one of the kids guts him with a knife.
Yeah.
And you're
hardcore.
Like, damn, dude, these fucking junior high kids ain't fucking around.
Yeah.
And then Haley Joel, he dies, but I don't know, he showed up. He didn't back down.
That's true. He squared up. He didn't, yeah.
Was it worth it?
I guess we'll never know. Unless we ask him. He's still alive.
Yeah.
All right, chill. Okay, tight, guys. So you want to start us off?
Dude, this is fresh off the presses. Vince McMahon, the guy who started the WWF, now WWE, get the F out.
Yep.
He is bringing back the XFL, which was a football league that he started in like the mid-2000s that kind of had it was newsworthy, but I don't think it did very well. I don't think it had a lot of fans, and I think the ratings were pretty bad. But they're bringing it back, and he promises that it's going to be a no-gimmick, streamlined version of football that most Americans, love and care for. He also says that I think the main angle that he's taking is that in the XFL there will be no political statements from players on the field. No kneeling, no extra standing, no crossing your arms with your teammates or whatever. And I do think that there's a market for that. I think a lot of people are turned off by the NFL's political protest. I think the thing that he's making a mistake about, though, is that people also like good football.
Yeah.
And that's almost more important than the political forthcomingness of the players. So if the XFL blows donkey dick in terms of its product, it doesn't really matter if the players are standing for the national anthem.
Yeah.
They're probably, if they suck at throwing the football and or catching or running with it, the league's probably not going to do that well. And I just don't understand how he's going to take over the NFL. Like, the NFL is such a behemoth.
Yeah. So if like a QB throws like a fucking duck.
Yeah.
And they're like, nice duck, dude. He's like, yeah, well, at least I wasn't kneeling.
At least I had my hand over my heart.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really justify that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, you're just like, well, can you do both?
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, maybe I can't. Maybe I can just put my hand over my heart. Maybe that's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, well, you're going to be second string now.
Yeah.
Because this guy behind you takes a knee, but he's fast as fuck and
that's interesting.
Throws the ball a mile.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you could be like to Vince. Vince would be like, watch my league. And you're like, yeah, it's nonpartisan, but they suck.
Yeah, exactly.
So, nice work, Vince.
Yeah, so thanks for just putting these fucking dudes out here who blow at football on a football game.
Like, where'd you get that fucking receiver, dude?
Yeah. He was like working at a Pavilions.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into the questions, I just have some comments that we received. So we posted a clip from our second podcast on the Instagram feed, and there was a couple of comments that stood out to me. One was, I bet Chad hooked up with JT's mom.
I wish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think my mom wishes as well.
Yeah, we share that, but I think there's respect.
Thank you.
Because I think that would tarnish our relationship.
Exactly.
But I've looked in your mom's eyes before, and I saw, like, fire.
She's a passionate woman.
Very. A lot of people might not know this, but JT is actually Latino.
I'm half Colombian.
Half Colombian, and I see that passion in both her and you.
And I really appreciate that my mom and Chad prioritized their relationship with me over their relationship with each other, and I just wanted to shine a light on that.
Yeah, and thank you for being so respectful of that. I mean, I think you acknowledge the passion between us, and then we show respect back by acknowledging that you come first.
Well, I felt selfish that I stood in the way of two people who are interested in each other because I believe so wholeheartedly in love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, this is my bro, this is my mom, and I can't help but feel a little conflicted about them boning. All right, let's get into some questions this week. Mike, I've been off the Grizzly wintergreen pouches for about 3 weeks.
Nice.
My bros chaw, and it's hard not chawing when we're at the bowling alley. Just would really like to know if you've ever quit anything, and what was your way of staying full stoke about quitting? I quit porn, and the way I managed to stay quit off porn was that all the time I got back, like, I don't know, low ball estimate, like 7 hours a day. I really got to spend doing other things like reading or, which was not easy, but I figured it out, lifting, talking to my family. Like, I don't know if the chaw is going to have such a solid replacement value, but all that money you spend on chaw, all that time you spend doing chaw, it gives you some community with your brothers when you're hanging out, but you can still maintain that without the chaw. You're just going to have to, rise to the challenge a little bit there and find ways to connect around the chaw, but you're going to get a lot of things out of not doing chaw anymore. So just try to highlight those when you're jonesing for it. Yeah,
I quit flannel shirts a couple of years ago, and that was tough for me because I really wanted to be a flannel shirt guy, because you see people rocking them and you're like, damn, they're really throwing it down. Yeah, because I don't look good in them. It was not good for me.
Your life was worse when you were wearing flannel.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I wanted to be a flannel guy so much. But then after months of just like no flannel, just tees, t-shirts, I was like, I know who I really am now. And I mean, those desires are still there. I still want to wear a flannel. If I see a dude chopping wood, like, I'm like, fuck, like, I just want to put on a flannel and get in there. It's going to be tough the first few weeks, but, you're going to break through and become a better dude.
Yeah, and I mean, like, take it from a guy who knows, and Chad gets this as well. Like, we both struggled giving up porn and flannels, but we both, I think, are better off without them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and maybe send us a picture one day of you wearing a flannel, jacking off to some porn with no chaw in your mouth, and we'll give it a hearty laugh because we'll see the irony.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, looking forward to it, brother. All right, next up, we got Chris B. Hey, fellas, what is your idea of a perfect date? Also, if you had to pick one album to bone to, what would it be?
Do you want to start off?
Yeah, I think in terms of what I would bone to, the Joe Rogan Experience, his podcast is really great.
Fire.
And then the first part of his questions, hey, fellas, what is your idea of a perfect date?
Well, this one, it's hard to repeat, but I'll take you back to 2016, July something. It was the 15-year anniversary of Fast and the Furious, and I took this lovely lady out, and we watched it in the theaters.
That's a great date.
We got popcorn. I got Sour Patch Kids. We got ices. And the connection I made with her, it was like two beams of energy, like one energy to Paul to her, and her to me. And then we got a tuna sandwich after.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think my perfect date is close to that as well.
Hit me.
Just getting stoned, going to see a movie, maybe going to like a hill or a mountain afterwards and looking out at the stars. And then from there, it's whatever.
That was beautiful. I could picture that too, and that gets me fired up.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Chris, what up, Chad? I'm finishing up high school and every party counts. How do I get invited to more? And when I'm there, how do I become alpha male at the party? So I used to get naked at parties to kind of throw down my alpha status, but they were my parties most of the time, so I could get away with that more easily. I would not recommend that route for most people.
Once you sort of establish that, like at a certain point, it was expected out of you,
right?
And then people would throw parties and they'd see you with clothes on, and they'd be like, "Is my party suck? Like, why is JT not naked?"
It became the gold standard for a good party.
Yeah, but I think with you, that was not like it was not like you became that.
No, that's who I was.
That was a marathon.
Yeah, that was me accepting who I was.
Yeah, so like you slowly established that. You didn't just walk in hanging dong.
No.
And then just be like, I'm the naked guy. I'd be like, what? You're the naked guy? All right, later.
It was one article of clothing at a time over like a 2-year maturation process.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't worry. And the point that Chad's making is that I wasn't trying consciously to be the alpha male. I grew into that role, if I could be so bold, to say that I ever was the alpha male. But I think for you, Chris, I wouldn't worry about becoming the alpha male. I would just worry about not looking like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's too harsh.
I would, you know what, Chris, like, I wouldn't concern yourself with like I need to get invited to more parties, you know? Start with gratitude.
Right, exactly.
Like
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's like Tony Robbins says, you know, like, I don't really know what he says, but the whole thing about like gratitude, like if you like feel grateful and you're like, I'm grateful for the 2 parties I've gone to this month, then more parties will come flowing your way. You know why? Because if you have that aura of stoke when you go to a party, like, damn, this dude knows what he's doing when he party. Like, I want to keep partying with this guy because he loves it. More parties are going to come your way, and then have your own parties. You know?
Yeah, I think having your own parties is great because you can, you come up with the rules of engagement. All right, we got Caleb. Yo, what up, Chad and Council? I've been told eating ass tastes like meatloaf. I need to know if I should eat the next girl I hook up with ass because I like meatloaf. Can you enlighten me on whether or not it is worth tongue punching the fart box? Thanks for the help, boys.
Solid question there. I think your motives are a little off. I don't think you should do it because you like meatloaf.
Do it because you like the girl's ass.
Yeah. And don't just go into it like I'm going to eat this ass.
Yeah, you're putting the cart before the horse a little bit.
Yeah. You know, like,
you want it to be beautiful.
Yeah.
You want the first time you eat ass to be a special thing.
Yeah, you want it to be natural. You don't want to just come in like, I just got to eat this ass.
Yeah, because you're putting pressure on yourself and it's not going to be a good ass eating sesh. Like, make sure you really meet a girl who's special, who has a scrumptious bottom, and who you just want to explore every aspect of her butt.
Yeah.
And so once you meet a girl like that who you really trust and who has the kind of bottom for you, then go in there tenderly and eat that butthole, but don't just, attacking it like it's dinner. Like,
and if it tastes like meatloaf, that's a huge plus because, like, every snowflake is different.
Yeah.
It could not taste like meatloaf. So if you come in and you're like, I want to eat meatloaf, and it doesn't, tastes like, then you'd be bummed.
Yeah, it tastes like beef braciole or something.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh, man, I wanted meatloaf. And it's like, so yeah, don't go into it expecting a certain kind of cuisine.
Yeah.
Just go into it open to exploring food from all over the world.
Yeah, exactly. I think be a man of service. Like, I want to service this butthole. By eating it.
This butthole that I'm looking at right here is the most special butthole in the world, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make this butthole feel clean. And just proceed from that position.
Yeah, tender and generous.
Yeah, and from there you'll grow in your butthole eating, and by the time your life is over, you'll have eaten so many butts in such a variety of ways, but it'll have started from a strong foundation.
Yeah. Don't start from a foundation of cuisine.
Yeah. Of picky eating.
Yeah. Because meatloaf, I mean, I don't know if I don't want to critique him too much, but I don't know if I'd want to taste meatloaf down there.
Not every day.
No, I was thinking more like a mochi ball or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely, and I think there's a butthole out there that is mochi ball-esque.
Yeah.
With Chad's Chad's destined for it.
Thanks.
Jack, hey Chad and JT, ever since I saw your video of you guys fighting for Paul Walker's statue, I've been inspired to fight just like you guys have. You guys have given me a lot of wisdom, but my real question is that I'm just a guy and I have some very good looking lettuce, but my school says it's too long and it needs to be cut or else I'll be suspended indefinitely. I really want to keep my lettuce though. How should I go about fighting for my lettuce?
That's tough. What's with schools and cutting flow?
Yeah, really, you're right, dude. Like, your school should not have a problem with your flow, especially if it's killer.
Yeah. I mean...
But he's in a predicament because they're going to suspend him.
Yeah, I think this goes back to the surfboard up the ass argument. You got to take one for the team.
Let them suspend you and stand up for something right.
Yeah, because good hair... You really have to own that. You have to let it shine, you know? You have to be like Madonna or like Lady Gaga and just be like, I was born this way.
And it comes at a cost.
It comes at a cost. The school is going to reprimand you for it, but the rewards you get from that are going to be far beyond what this school can give you.
And resistance starts with one.
Yeah.
If you can be the first person to stand up for other people's flow,
yeah,
and that's what you'll be doing by defending your own flow,
yeah,
then we could see the day where no one with flow is forced to cut it.
Yeah. I mean, you do this, next thing you know, you're giving a speech to thousands.
And remember,
with good flow.
And remember, flow, for those of you who don't know, is good flowing hair.
Good flowing hair. You can rock like a good lid or helmet with it, and it just flows out the sides, and it just looks like so good. Like, I remember one time my mom would cut my hair, and she cut it a little bit short, and like I just went ham, dude.
Yeah, you were...
Sorry to my mom, too. So, like, if they cut your hair, then, like you got to ask them this question. Be like, all right, you guys want to cut my hair, but do you also want me to study? Because I don't think I can do that without good hair.
Yeah, if you look good, you feel good.
Yeah. I think of Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2. He just, like...
Great hair,
and I think that's why he solved that impossible mission.
Yeah, that's why he was able to take down Chimera.
Yeah.
Which was a deadly virus that, honestly, if it got loose, could have been the end of days.
Yeah. The blood's loaded with Chimera.
Dougray Scott. He was supposed to be Wolverine, and then they went shooting that movie for too long, so he lost out to a huge jacked man.
That's Boner Jam.
Yeah, because his life could have been radically different. Next up, we got JoJo. So me and this chick were talking for a while, and it was the second time we tried things. Things were Gucci, but her parents didn't like me. I said the love word and stuff. Then she dumped me literally the next day, and it kind of came out of nowhere. She said it was mainly because of her parents, but I'm not entirely sure. My stoke meter has been hanging low here, dudes, and I'm not sure what to do. What advice would you dudes give to deal with a breakup?
First off, I just want to say I'm sorry, dude. That's, I've been in the same position. You drop that L-bomb, and then they dump you. It's tough.
I mean, I think, you're young, dude, and you have you're learning how to modulate a typhoon of emotions.
Yeah.
And I can tell you really love this girl. I mean, you're going to feel the pain of this for a while.
Yeah.
But feel every bit of it, my friend, because you didn't do something wrong. You came from the heart, and that means you can never be wrong. It just didn't work, and you'll learn how to make it work in the future.
Yeah.
But this might not be the girl for you. And if her parents hate you, I mean, dude, you might have dodged a bullet, because that's going to suck to be going over to dinner all the time when you got these skeptical eyes bearing down on you.
Yeah. I mean, you painted a beautiful picture there.
Thank you, brother. Or JoJo did.
Yeah.
Mike, another Mike. I've been trying to think of a new game for the kids to stay stoked on bowling. What do you think about bowling? It's super chill, but I'm thinking to bring the stoke level up. We bowl down mountains. Let me know.
This guy loves bowling?
And he wants to bowl down mountains. I don't know if he means physically roll your body down mountains or move the lanes to a downhill kind of playing field.
Interesting.
I got nothing for you, man.
Yeah. Every time I watch Big Lebowski, I'm like, I want to bowl, and then I do it, and I'm like, I'm not this guy.
Yeah, so if you are that guy, have fun, man. All right, here comes the fucking biggest questions of the day. Mark.
My bro.
This is Chad's brother.
Shout out to my brother. I love you.
We're taking this question extra serious. It's a two-parter. 1, I hit the gym and got a nice pump before my first class of semester. Did I properly assert my dominance, or was it too much too soon? This is a potent thinker.
Yes.
Who is very cognizant of his choices.
Yes. I think, well, just for some context, he's studying naval architecture.
Fuck.
So, like, this dude's, he's trying to build ships.
And this is, so he's in an atmosphere where there's a lot of probably potentially dominant people.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, it's engineers. So
they're nerds.
And I think one thing that he's really trying to do is he's trying to show, like, hey, dudes, like, look, I can crunch numbers, but I can also squat 450. I mean, like, this dude's deadlift is, like, I just want to give props to my brother. Like, he's really boosted his deadlift in the past 4 months. Like, he's a fucking beast. And I think once he starts building ships, like, if someone builds a ship and you're like, I want to meet the guy who designed this ship, and then you go to meet him,
and he's a tank,
and you're like, dude, props on the ship, but can we go squat also?
Yeah, it's like props on building the ship, but also can you explain to me how you built this tank
that
you inhabit all the time?
I mean, you're gonna trust that guy. The guy's like, yeah, I can build the cruise ship, and you're like, yeah, you can, because you also built your body.
Right.
That's a good point. And yeah, it's pretty rad of my brother to be, like, out there building ships. You know, like, I'm the younger bro, so I'm just I think I play a good role in just chilling in the family.
I think you execute that role as close to perfection as possible.
Yeah, and I think shout out to, you know, all my siblings for just crushing it out there so that I can chill.
Number 2, follow up to your recent current event shout-outs. Love you dudes too.
Love you, bro.
Thanks, man. Next up, we got Thomas. Dear Chad and JT, my homeroom class is stacked with hotties. It's awesome, but I'm overloaded. My dudes, how do I make it happen that I bone all 14 chicks in my homeroom class?
Respect for your ambition, but I don't think you want to be that guy.
Yeah, I don't know how you become that guy without, like, ruining yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of, like, brass ring that you chase, and you look like Frodo in the last Lord of the Rings, where you're just, like, worn down by the kind of grandiosity of your mission.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of just like, once you, let's say you hook up with, like, 5, and then you're, like, going for number 6, and people are like, I see what you're doing, and then you're like, what? And they're like, you can't do this, and you're like, but I just, like, I want to rack in large numbers. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about love, and you're breaking that sacred bond.
Yeah, and your friend, you're gonna hurt a lot of girls' feelings in the process. You're gonna strike out a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way, probability-wise, they're all going to be into you. I'm sorry, Thomas, you're probably a great guy.
Yeah.
But you can't be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
And then your boy Benji's going to be like, hey, dude, we haven't talked in months. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to bone every girl in my homeroom class. You know what's going to happen after you run through the homeroom class? You're going to start looking for another class to run through.
Yeah.
And this is going to become the defining endeavor of your youth. And I just think, brother, man, you'd be better suited mixing it up with some other stuff too.
Like, do you really want to be the guy who just, like, bones homeroom classes, or do you want to also be known for, like, pole vaulting or something?
And you know what? The thing I do like, though, dude, is that you were going to bone every chick in the class, so you weren't going to let anybody feel left out.
Yeah.
But keep writing in, Thomas. All right, this next one is from Gavin. Dear dudes, my stoke is in the basement. I fucking hate it. Help me get my fucking stoke back. All exclamation point.
Say that again?
Gavin, dear dudes, my stoke is in the basement. I fucking hate it. Help me get my fucking stoke back. All exclamation points.
Damn. Dude, in the event of an earthquake, you know what you always want to have? One of those, like, rescue kits. You need to break out your rescue kit, brother. And you need to break out the essentials.
Chad, this is profound.
You need a tanning booth. You need solid movies. You need a good meal, preferably pokey because it has omega-3s. You need a good podcast, probably Joe Rogan Experience or Going Deep with Chad and JT.
Keep cooking, Chad.
You need good tunes. You need a babe to be texting, keep you stoked. Find those things. Anything else that I'm missing?
I think you nailed most of them, man. I think he can find the other ones, but I think you gave him
maybe a barbell,
the answer he needs.
Maybe a barbell,
some lifting,
some chalk, a surfboard, and an Indo board for when there are no waves.
Brother, man. And some of that stuff costs money, but some of it doesn't. So start building your rescue pack.
Yeah. You just hit a Stoke earthquake, dude. And this is going to be one of those moments in your life where you're like, fuck, I really just fucking came from the depths and emerged as a god after that because I used my rescue pack and now I can never not be stoked.
This is from Ned. What up, council? A dude in the grade above me wants to beat my ass. His reasons are muddled. He says he just doesn't like me and he won't let it go. I'm scared. I want to transfer schools. What should I do? Well, you can't transfer schools.
No.
There's always going to be some older dude who wants to fuck you up. These people don't go away.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to find a way to deal with it. So what are our options? One, you learn how to fight.
Yes.
And you fuck this motherfucker up.
Tell him what are some methods he can learn.
There's jiu-jitsu, there's Muay Thai, there's wrestling. They all work effectively. Preferably, they work best in conjunction with each other. Now, if you can't get into the MMA game, there's another option.
Hit me.
Social equity. If you're friends with everybody, and if everybody likes you, and if you're the guy who sets up the parties, who makes the parties happen, and who gets the parties hopping, this guy's not going to want to mess with you because he knows if he lays a hand on you, his social calendar's about to go from packed to sacked.
Beautiful. And that was cool because I didn't even know what the word equity meant. So I'm glad I have that in my list now, my quiver.
And then there's a third thing you can do. You can hire someone to beat the fuck out of this guy. I had a friend, Jeff Narnar, in high school who was going to get his ass whooped by this gnarly dude, Nieto. Mm-hmm. So what he did was he went to his parents' gardener, who he had a ton of affinity for, and he asked the gardener to back him up. He rolled up to the fight with 3 of his homies, and they went to work on Nieto and his boys.
Nice.
And then there's a fourth thing to do. You beg this guy not to fuck you up. You let him assert his dominance over you. Dictate the outcome of the fight. Fall on the ground and just say, dude, yeah, if you're going to piss on me, take a shit on me, kick me, do what you're going to do. And I think it's going to take a lot of the fun out of it if you're just like a limp punching bag for him.
Yeah, that's like back to when, we were throwing shit at Rick's fucking shed.
Yeah.
If he just come out like, I don't care, keep throwing shit. That's not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
When the dude gets mad, when he fights back, that's when it's fun for the aggressor.
Yeah, he's feeding on your fear right now.
Guys, that will be it for the 3rd episode of the Going Deep with... Guys, that will be it for the 3rd episode of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us in. We hope you're stoked. Thank you. Keep writing questions in. A lot of people ask me how you can write questions in. Go to the website, Going Deep Podcast, and then there's a submit questions here button. You can click that. Hit me with some questions. Hit me and JT with some questions. This is now on Spotify and iTunes, so hit subscribe on iTunes. Give us a rating and write a review if you want. We love reviews, so hit us with a solid review. We'd love that. And we'll be back next week with your podcast. Thank you guys so much. JT, anything you want to say?
Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll be back next week, and we're going to keep coming for you.
Hell yeah. Love you guys. Thank you.
What's with deep?